Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and yeah, we're going through this song and dance again, as this isn't that unexpected as Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. We kind of knew that it was going to be a lackluster PC version. I think people were just excited, myself included, to get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 available on Steam, you know, preserve these games and have them readily accessible on a platform like Steam. I mean, emulation exists, these games were being preserved on Steam, what am I even talking about? And the versions on emulation were probably just as good, if not better, than these Master Collection versions. And there's a lot to talk about, a lot of dialogue already going out. I haven't tried the collection yet. I'm gonna probably play it sometime this week. You know, I'm a sucker, and you know, MGS is one of my favorite franchises, so obviously I have to check this out, even if it is a little bit lackluster. A lot to talk about here, and Konami has actually already made a statement about the issues they're working on. Always a good sign when they make that statement before the game comes out, actually. They made this statement, I believe, yesterday, and we'll take you guys through that as well. First of all, this collection, if you don't know, includes Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, as well as the NES ports of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. MGS1 was a PS1 game, MGS2 was a PS2 game, as was MGS3. 2 and 3 were remastered onto the PlayStation 3 and 360, and you get those remastered versions. So, alright, here we go. Let's talk about all of these issues. With Metal Gear 1, one of the top Steam reviews, note this. They really did MGS1 dirty. This is coming from Pughausen. They really did MGS1 dirty. It's literally just the ISO file with a really bad emulator. No resolution options, no aspect ratio options, nothing. Play MGS1 with DuckStation instead, as you'll get a significantly better experience, because this version is a big letdown. Yeah, that is nonsense. If the fact that you don't have options, and I believe this is an aspect that they are working on to add resolution options and things like that, but that's wild that you be launching games without resolution options and things of that nature. So Metal Gear Solid 1, kind of a disaster, but it gets even worse with Metal Gear Solid 3, since you would expect Metal Gear Solid 3 to be a game that, you know, it's MGS3. It's not like this game is a juggernaut to run. It should be running at 4K, baby. As noted on Steam, this is a review from Annie56. 720p on a PC title is insane. You can't alt-tab if you're playing on a monitor that has a native resolution higher than 1080p. Obviously, the game itself is great, but it hard locks at 720p. Now, there's already been a fix that has been discovered for this, but you shouldn't have to fix things like this. You shouldn't have to fix forced 720p. How insane is that in the year 2023 that we got forced 720p upscaled to 1080p or whatever? But DSO Gaming did have an article. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is a terrible mess on PC, but you can now at least play it at native 4K. It should be native 4K outside the box. It should be native 4K on every single platform, I guess outside the Switch, but the article does know, first of all, in MGS3, using a mouse is kind of a joke. Instead of offering raw mouse support, Konami tried to emulate the right thumbstick of a controller, and to make things worse, there's no option to change how fast the mouse moves, so if you can't switch your mouse DPI on the fly, playing with the keyboard and mouse is a pain in the ass. And here's the weird part, you can't even change the keys on the keyboard, so, you know, obviously cutting corners in terms of mouse and keyboard implementation, which, bear in mind, initially, there was a lot of concern on mouse and keyboard support not being available in the game, so it seems like they did throw it together in there, and yeah, it just doesn't seem that great. Obviously, the resolution issue is a very, very big deal. Like, come on now. But, come on now, that's like a huge issue. Now, the game is locked at 1080p, however, the internal resolution is at 720p, so Konami is just upscaling the game from 720p to 1080p, and it is a blurry mess. However, you guys know how PC gamers are, and people online, they are absolute savants, and it probably wasn't even too difficult to figure stuff like this out, but guess what? I'm dumb as hell when it comes to fixing up PC games, so I let other people do it, create guides, and then I'll fix it myself when I have a guide to work with. But they edited the game's executable file via a hex editor, so all you have to do to mod the games into actually the resolutions you want to play them at is download the resolution mod that's respective to whatever monitor or display you're playing on. They have a 1080p, 1440p, and 4K mod. 4K shouldn't be too difficult to run. Bear in mind that this is originally a PS2 game, even if it's the PS3 remastered edition. This game is not Alan Wake 2. The MGS3 is not Alan Wake 2. It should not be difficult to run at all. So It will hopefully get a lot better over time. Again, I've been saying this from the get-go that it's just nice to have MGS 1, 2, and 3 finally be available on Steam, but $60 was always kind of wild. That's why I had been promoting Green Man Gaming having a substantial discount, 22% off for $46, and even then I had said that if this game was priced at $40 flat, and it was a good PC, and it was at least an acceptable PC version, not even good, you know, acceptable would have gotten the job done, and yes, acceptable does include having resolution editors. Acceptable does include not hard locking to 720p and 4K just being there right out the box. But $40 for those 3 games I think would be pretty good. When 46 was available with GMG, I was like, okay, if you're a hardcore MGS fan, maybe you want to check this out. Obviously, also, the argument is going to be that these games are readily emulatable with MGS1, a better experience available with the emulated version outside of the Master Collection version, which is just wild to think about, honestly. That's probably absolutely unacceptable as well. But some people just want the game on Steam. Some people want the Steam achievements, the Steam hours, and people just want to play through Steam. I know there's a lot of people out there that are just like that, and I understand. Like, I like having all my games uniform as well. That's why, you know, for some people, they just don't want to use the Epic Games Store either. They want all their stuff on Steam. They want it all uniform, and I get that. It just, it's kind of an OCD thing, but, you know, I understand where people are coming from with that. Konami also did confirm that there are issues that are going to be addressed in a post-launch patch or post-launch patches. The bonus content for Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge in the NES ports, the bonus content videos, the timing of some of the subtitles doesn't match up with the audio. They are planning a patch to correct the timing. Like, that's so weird. Like, just take a little bit of time and get all that stuff right. You know, for launch. A post-launch patch is planned to add a number of visual options as well. And then with the MSX2 versions of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, a future patch will add the ability to switch between windowed and full screen. That is applicable to all of the Metal Gear Solid games as far as switching between windowed and full screen, which is wild to think about. Across Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, bug fixes are also planned. MGS2 probably has the worst bug out of them all, as noted that Konami warned the game may significantly slow down in certain cutscenes. That just sounds like an experience-breaking kind of thing. Like, the gameplay should be fine, but certain cutscenes, if they significantly slow down, that's experience-breaking. A patch to reduce processing load is planned, like processing load for a PS3 or PS2 game, however you want to view it. There's also a slight delay to the timing for certain visual effects, with a patch to correct it to match the original game at some point. Again, it's just staggeringly strange. Specifically on MGS3, there are also typos in the subtitles for the original England, France, Italy, Germany, and Spain releases. EU releases, the timing for a certain scene and background music to trigger in a certain cutscene is slightly different from the original game too, and a patch is gonna sort all that out, and also the ability to switch between windowed and full screen. All of those fixes will be coming post-launch, so, you know, they're gonna update the game. It's another one of those release now, fix later type deals. We'll get people to buy it now, and then down the line, as we fix it, you know, hopefully more people will pick it up. That seems to be, more often than not, the trend in gaming these days. Like, it's more often that you see something like that. Like, think about this month. What were the biggest PC game releases this month so far? You had Assassin's Creed Mirage, Lords of the Fallen, City Skylines 2, and now Metal Gear Collection Volume 1. 3 out of 4 of those games had the release now, fix later gimmick attached to them, with Lords of the Fallen, City Skylines 2, and Metal Gear Volume 1. Think about that for a second. Alan Wake 2, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out, but, you know, fingers crossed that turns out well, and it's just going to be a demanding game, and the visual fidelity will warrant that, but just a bummer. Hey, at least we do know that it's pretty much confirmed Volume 2 will have Peace Walker, MGS4, and Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 is kind of a throwaway. Would have been better with, you know, something else. Rising, although Rising is readily available on PC, so that wouldn't have even been that huge, but, yeah, at least, you know, those 2 games being on Steam is going to be fantastic as well. But that'll do it for me. Again, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, unfortunately a train wreck. You know, I think most of us were expecting a pretty mid-release as far as the PC version and the release in general goes, but if you just want to experience the games with a little bit of workaround with the resolution modifiers, it could be a good time to go through. I mean, these games are classics. That's where I was mostly talking about it from, talking about this collection. everybody kind of knew that Konami was going to fumble the bag in terms of offering a great collection in terms of upgrades, additions, refinements, everything like that. It's a little bit worse than we had expected, but the reason why people were excited for these games is because of the fond memories towards MGS 1, 2, and 3, or you just heard through the grapevine that these are 3 of the best action stealth games of all time, which is accurate. MGS 3 in particular is just tremendous, and it's going to get a full-on remake, which will be great as well. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Fingers crossed for Alan Wake 2 and the rest of the games coming out for this year. RoboCop, hopefully that turns out well, but you know, these things happen, as I always say. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.